What I would like you guys to do is to look for the light. Yeah, light's really important in photography. You might be taking note of shadows, and you can create different depth, and you can also create a different atmosphere by looking at things like shadows and reflections. Speaking of reflections, photographing after the rain is really good because you then get lots of extra little reflections, and you might be able to see different creatures that come out. I always use the zoom on either my camera or my phone, and I do this because I really like the blurred effect that you get when you get really close to something. So I would suggest that you could play with that, and if you do play with that, remember to be really calm and breathe very gently, because when you're using the zoom, your camera wobbles a little bit more. Shape a story. What story does your photograph tell? We can use angles to tell stories. You might be, for example, in this one, you might be looking at my niece and we're telling the story about her going fishing, or about nature overcoming all of our structures, so things growing out of walls. Focus in photography is really, really important. You use what your camera is focusing on to help tell the person who's looking at the photograph what is interesting. That's another thing about getting close. Yeah, the world's a really, really big place, and sometimes it's easier if we just break it down into something small and something that we're interested in. So the other thing is to just keep trying, which is why I was saying you can take a few photographs. You might find something that's quite interesting to photograph, and if it's a plant, then you might also be able to come back and visit that plant at a particular time of day. So don't be scared, have a go. I'm sure, because I've taught lots of people in Sunderland, that we will have some absolutely fantastic entrants into this competition. So the best advice that I can give you guys is go and have fun. Think about it, consider it, and I look forward to seeing your entries.